Hello and welcome to the March 3rd, 2019 Patreon live stream. Let's see, is it streaming? It is streaming. Turn off this sound over here. Hello and welcome to... That option wasn't available until it started making sound. Okay, so what I've been doing this only 3 weeks since the last stream because of that one being late because of the flu. I've been getting organized, I've been animating, I'm going to be breaking all this stuff down when I get off of the live stream. And starting to break down everything, take the rocks off of the tables and just break everything down to its smallest components so that I can figure out what I can reuse. Because the seashore's done, I've done both of the shots on that, so I don't need the rocks back there. So the next thing I'm going to build will be this underground area, so the female climbs down the well, and I've shot that, and then she enters this space that's kind of cavey and has mirrors, so it's kind of like a funhouse mirror, kind of, but not fun, so she can hear some bad things. I've got to keep some secrets, so you have some surprises when this is done. So, yeah, I have done a few shots that I'm not going to share online. Just secret characters. I mean, all the major characters will, those will be shared, but there's some other things that happen that are going to be secret. So let's see. So I've been working on that. I tore apart my puppet. I won't technically do too much tearing, but so this ties in with the next thing I'm going to show you. This puppet you may or may not already be familiar with, as I did have a blog post detailing the construction of this puppet that was completely done, and obviously this puppet is not done anymore because I made her with magnet feet and just 2 strands of aluminum wire and 2 strands of copper, which was fine for the puppet until her costume was put on. Her costume is made out of corduroy, so it's kind of heavy. And she didn't have much to do, so that was okay. A little hard to animate because her ankles were a little weak for that costume. And then the magnets were a little weak. So what I've done, because I'll show you the storyboards that that I've been working on in a minute, and why I've taken this puppet apart. So I ripped off her foam, and I added 4 new strands of armature wire, and I took out the magnets, which I love animating with magnets and I really prefer them, but sometimes they aren't strong enough. So I have put, let's see if you can see, I put some T-nut tie downs in, which will, and combined with my table here, let's see if I can get it down far enough. You can see this table. This is steel, so the magnets work on it, and then it also, because of the holes, I can is this in frame? Everything's backwards. So okay. So anyway, this I'll I screw into the T-nut and then tighten the wing nut. That's the most solid way and the most common way to animate, at least in America. Let's see, where were we? So, anywho, so this one, and also I decided, since I was tearing her apart, and I've only shot 2 scenes with her, one of them you can't see her legs, so that one can be kept, and the other one doesn't look very good because I was struggling with gravity and her weak knees to make her walk. So I'm not going to put her black tights back on. I'm going to put some red and white striped tights on, which would be better. So I have a Spoonflower account, which if you are not familiar with Spoonflower, you can print your own fabric. You can also sell fabric. So I have a few designs on there under Little Miss Crow. But I also will print little pieces of fabric when I need to scale down. So I scaled some stripes down to the correct ratio. The other thing, if some of you may be familiar with, some of you may not be familiar with, but this puppet was based on my measurements because there's a live action component where I'll be being filmed, and then the puppet is the tiny version, so everything is 5.33. It's 1 to 5.33, not 1 to 6, 1 to 5.33, because I want her to be 12 inches tall, and I'm just almost 5'4". So that's why it's not 1.16, it's 1.33. So anyway, so I made the stripes. I'm getting it printed. I'm waiting for it. Spoonflower's reds are a little disappointing because I like really strong, vivid reds, and they're a little gentle because it's print. It's CMYK, so it's the reds you get with CMYK. So I have the whole color. I ordered the color palette yard that has a bunch of little hex codes and little squares a few years ago. So I looked on that and I picked the best one. So I'm anxiously waiting that so that I can put her stripe ties back on. And then I can lace up her boots again and get her all set to go. I may or may not keep the hair that I had made for her because I've discovered wigs that are the right scale for this kind of doll. And I ordered one from China, and I'm waiting for that to arrive. So it took me like weeks to make her wig, just stitching, because I'm a little obsessive, and so I spend a lot of time making things. If any of you had been following the making of the sea monster, you will know that. But I'm trying to be a little stricter with myself and find quicker ways to do certain things so that my film has some chance of being done by the middle of 2020, which is a hope but not a promise. I'm aiming for that, but we'll see how that goes, because I've got a full-time job, but it's teaching, so I have my summers off, so that allows me to work more than some jobs would. Let's see what it was like. So yes, I'm going to finish her, and then we'll see about the hair. I'll either put her other hair back on, or when I get that, and if I love it, I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna order some more. Because it just was $16 and something to order that, or weeks of sewing hair into a little wig cap. Not the best use of my time. Let's see. I will show you the storyboards now. So I've been really enjoying now. For those of you who watched last month's, broadcast, I was still kind of struggling with digital drawing because I have always I have always resisted it a little bit, but now I have made friends with it, and I am actually enjoying it. So it is really helping with my storyboards. It's just getting bigger. Why is it? There we go. Let's see. I'm trying to get down here. So there's a lot of storyboards here. Let's see, how much can you see? Okay, you can see all that. Okay. Starting here. Oh, my daughter she said she was joking. She's like, that's not satanic. I was like, I don't view the pentagram as a satanic thing. So, it's more of a life and Venus sort of thing. So that's where symbolism can be interpreted very differently for different people. Goes from fully charged to almost nothing. So I'm not sure what you missed, but there we go. It looks like it's working again. Sorry about that. I'll have to edit that out for anyone watching it later. Okay, so, I have a question. Are you continuing to shoot sequentially? Does a new puppet based on a live-action character appear in the order of action as it has been progressing? No, I'm not shooting sequentially. Some things are, some things aren't. with the space I have available, I can't really shoot sequentially. So the well scenes are actually, my film kind of divides neatly into 3 parts, kind of 3 acts, and some of the well sequence I'm doing is for the final part, the final third, and the first third is almost done except for this opening, which I'm showing you how the film is going to open, or how I imagine it's going to open now. So I had this plan, and it was going to be mostly live action, and I was going to need some 12-foot trees and this massive shooting space and all kinds of people to help me, and it's just too much. I don't have much of a budget. You know, my budget is what you see me getting on Patreon. That's my budget. And then using a little bit of, you know, what I have left over from my basic expenses. Well, all my expenses. So, you know, I don't have a big budget to hire a crew or all that stuff at this point. And then I just started getting excited about how I might use more animation where I wanted to have live action. So anyway, so the film starts with this spinning really fast, so you can't see what is going on, and then it stops, and then you got a close-up of a hand doing hand stuff. Here, I'll just play it. So it's sort of halfway animated, but not, you know, super animated. Okay, and then we cut back to this character, and she sits up and pulls all the strings off of her. This is still a puppet. This was going to be live, but I'd say this is a puppet. And then there are some watchers in the theater. They're puppets, watchers watching. And then here's where it starts. This is live action. So everything that's extreme close-up will be shot in live action in this portion. So we'll get this sort of uncanny, like, is it real, is it not real? And I'm going to strive to make my animation as perfect as possible, like the walking. I mean, it's always going to be a little jerky because that's just, you know, stop motion, unless you're like and have like, but I like that jerky a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to really study the way I really walk, and I'm going to make the animated character walk. So anyway, so here, this is where she reaches out for the jacket, and then we're back to the puppet putting on the jacket. With puppets, you just kind of showing half of an action, like it's almost done, because actually getting her arm in that would look disjointed. So it's, you know, it's going to look like part of an action. And then close up of live action again, putting on a glove, and puppet. Now the camera's going to follow. It's going to be a camera pan walking through this forest, and then live action, and then puppet. And a really big, this is going to be a really big set. It's going to be like 10 feet long, or almost 10 feet long, because the black seamless I have to use is what is that, closer to 9 feet. And I have to build like 144 theater chairs. See, I always think of some kind of crazy complication to make everything really difficult. But at my work, I have access to laser cutters and 3D printers, so I'm gonna make them that way, and then I'll cover them with velvet by hand. But everything else, I'm gonna do it in an easier way. Okay. So anyway, so here. See, I've been having fun drawing. I'm almost done with it. So, and you'll see this will be shot on green screen and live action in this portion, and then the little animated watchers will be watching back there. So all this close-up is live action, and I'm not going to give you super details. I'm just going to go quickly so you have some surprises. But I've been having fun drawing hands with my digital pen. So I'm going to skip over because I want, since it puts to her name. And anyway, right now I'm thinking this is how the title will be. It'll be like on Playbill. That could change, but that's what I'm thinking. Like, this will be live action. I have this costume, so anyway, and then back to live action. Walking into the dirt. I've got to get a bunch of bags of dirt from my family farm, I think I'm gonna have to shoot these shoot this stuff during the school year, or maybe Christmas or winter break next year. So I've just got to bring bags and bags of dirt from my family's farm, so it's the correct color, and then set all this up in it's kind of this little nook by my dining room, because I have this weird big, it's just this big oblong room that's like dining room and living room, and then just kind of what? It's my painting studio, because it's just this weird little nook. But it works, so I'll be able to fit that in, and it's a similar color ceiling as in my garage in Oregon, my garage studio in Oregon, where I can bounce the light and get the color and the lighting pretty similar to the Nest Dweller set that's in Oregon, because that stays in Oregon. Because what I'm going to be doing this summer when I go to Oregon is hopefully finishing up with that set. That's my hope, to finish up with that set. So anyway, that's, oh, and if you want to know this program, it is storyboarder.com. It's free, and there's lots of little annoying things about it, but now I'm getting used to it. I don't mind them. So anyway, here's my latest hand. It's sort of a really strange position. This is the last drawing I did, and this is, you get this little layer. You kind of click on, this is how you figure out what layer on is. You click on the little pencils and pens and things. So this layer is super easy to get rid of. So then I've been using the Sharpie a lot on it. Just trying to draw. I've got my pen pressure set kind of a little bit stronger than the middle. When I put it all the way up to it, I didn't get this nice sketchy look from the Sharpie. It was just always like Sharpie pressed hard. So I kind of like this, but I think I'm going to go a little bit more of a definite line there. There we go. But yeah, it's just, I should have learned to use this in like a long time ago. But so I had a Wacom tablet a long time ago, and it became obsolete, and I just kind of, with stop motion, I didn't really consider the drawing on the computer to be a thing I needed to do. But now I'm just really loving making my storyboards this way. Oh, I see another question. If a producer offered to fully fund Seed in the Sand and distribute it with the caveat of it being in multi-part serialization, would you consider that versus releasing it as a feature? I don't want to release it as a serialization. That actually was a consideration at one point, but I think it would like kind of destroy the impact of it. I want it to be, the reason I started making feature films instead of just staying with short form is because I wanted to create a fully immersive theater experience. So with a short, people aren't going to pay to watch 25 minutes of footage and then leave. They want something else. So you have to be thrown out of the world that you've been brought into and into another. So I decided against doing that, though it was something I was considering for a while. Maybe I'll try to make money on Amazon, but they're changing it from 15 cents an hour to 6 cents an hour, so it takes, I don't know if I can go viral enough to make really anything on Amazon. I've got my short film on Amazon, and I get a lot of views on it, but it doesn't really add up to even $10. So I have to have millions of people, watching this, and I don't have that level of viewership, so not yet anyway. Maybe when this one's done, but not without they changed the doll to who's the A-list actor that I should make the masked woman be instead of me. There we go. she'll be an A-list actor. We'll get this A-list name, and then I'll make my weird little movie with this A-list actor, and then it will just not be my movie, and I'll be unhappy. So, I'm not looking to make a lot of profit on this movie. If I did, that'd be great. But I have a job, which I really love, and this is an art film at this point, and while it certainly it could get legs and do, you know, do really well when it's done. I really want to make it the way I want to make it. And when you get producers involved, I'm not saying I wouldn't accept a producer's involvement, but you know, they have to be on the terms that I'm okay with. So yeah, that was a really long-winded answer to your question. But there you go. Well, just drawing this hand. See, it's just fun, and like there's times that like my classes are pretty busy most of the time because I've got a lot of students in my class. Because we had a lot of enrollment of people wanting to be animation majors this year. But I do have a spare moment here and there, and so I'll just sort of, when I have my little spare moment, I will pull this out and start doodling on it. And that's actually the benefit over the cards, because, you know, I always have my computer with me at work, because this is actually my work computer, and the reason they gave it to me is, you know, to have it in class. So I have this, and I can, that thumb looks really weird. So another little silly thing. I am drawing my left hand because I'm right-handed, but then when I flip it. Oh wait, no wait, that's this side. Here, this one I drew my left hand and then flipped it so that it's my right hand, and then this is supposed to be my right hand. Sorry, I'm getting my stories mixed up. Okay, well anyway, I'm gonna say goodbye. Let me click back to, where is OBS? There it is. My OBS is my streaming software that I use. So thank you for watching, and thanks for asking questions, and thanks for being my patron. And I'm looking forward to having this all done and sharing it with you, but also, you know, the process is a really important part of this too. And being an art film and being really highly personal, you know, it takes time. But I'm aiming for summer 2022, but not promising, because I can't do that. Oh, and I can tell you, I have an art show, which it may slow me down a little bit on my film, but overall it's all a good part of the whole thing. The art show, it will be July 2020 in Los Angeles at Lisa Derrick Fine Arts Gallery, and I'm creating sculpture kind of three-dimensional elements on like a painted background, kind of like a shadow box. So I really love like the like natural history museums, how they've got like these like painted backdrops, all this stuff happening. So I'm doing that, and there'll be some paintings, maybe some projection. I don't know. I've got how much time do I have? A little less than a year and a half, and I'm also going to make sure I make lots of progress on my film and try to tie it together. And then, who knows, maybe I'll be able to show my progress at that point. But yeah, so keep looking at Instagram if you want to see what's going on now, and thank you for watching. I think I already said that, and then I babbled some more. Alright, bye! Bye-bye.